The call came on a Tuesday afternoon while I was in a meeting. Mom's name flashed on my screen 3 times before I silenced it. She left a voicemail. Then Dad called. Then Mom again. I knew before I listened. You always know. Sarah, it's Mom. Please call us back. It's urgent. It's about your father's health. Her voice cracked on the word health. That crack told me everything. This family revenge story I'm about to share will leave you speechless. I sat in my car after work, phone in my hand, and let the memories wash over me. Every disappointment, every comparison, every time I wasn't enough. I was 12 when they stopped coming to my piano recitals, too busy with Ethan's soccer tournaments. He was younger but better at everything according to them. More athletic, more charismatic, more likely to succeed. Sarah's just not naturally talented, Mom told her sister once, not knowing I was listening. We can't all be gifted. I practiced 4 hours a day. Ethan kicked the ball around on weekends. I got into Berkeley. They threw Ethan a bigger party when he got into a state school. I graduated with honors and got a job at a tech company. Ethan dropped out junior year to find himself. They paid his rent for 3 years while he found himself in Thailand, then Costa Rica, then anywhere but a job. When I bought my first house at 27, Dad said, "Well, those tech salaries are pretty inflated. Don't get too comfortable." When Ethan moved back home at 28, Mom said, "He's going through a transitional period. Family supports family." I was family too. But I'd learned not to need them. Learned to bury the hurt so deep I almost convinced myself it wasn't there. Almost. If this story resonates with you, please like and subscribe. Your support helps me share more stories like this. The voicemail I finally listened to in my car was Mom, and she sounded old, afraid. "Your father had a stroke. He's stable, but Sarah, we need to talk about care options. He'll need round-the-clock help for a while, maybe longer. Please call us." I called Ethan instead. "Yeah, it's bad," he said. He sounded stoned. "They want to bring him home, but they need like a nurse and modifications to the house, ramps and shit. It's expensive." "How expensive?" "I don't know. A lot. They're freaking out." "What about their savings?" Silence. Then, "They don't have any. They spent them." "On what?" More silence. "Helping me mostly. The trips, the rent, starting my business that didn't work out. Look, I feel bad about it, but they offered. They wanted to help me find my path." My path had been scholarship applications and student loans in 60-hour work weeks. His path had been beaches and self-discovery funded by our parents' retirement fund. "They want to ask you for money," Ethan said. "Fair warning." What would you do in this situation? Drop a comment below. I read every single one. The hospital room smelled like antiseptic and fear. Dad looked small in the bed. IV tubes snaking from his arms. Half his face drooped. He couldn't speak clearly yet. Mom stood when I entered. She looked like she'd aged a decade. "Sarah, thank God." I sat in the chair by the window. Didn't move toward them. "The doctors say he'll recover most function with therapy, but he needs care, intensive care, for months, maybe longer." "That's good, that he'll recover. We've looked into options. In-home care is the best choice, but insurance won't cover all of it. We need to modify the house. We need about $80,000. The number sat between us like a grenade. "We know you have it," she continued quickly. "Your job, the house. You've always been so good with money, so responsible. We wouldn't ask if we weren't desperate." Responsible. The word they'd used when they meant boring, predictable, disappointing. "What about Ethan?" I asked. Mom's face tightened. "Ethan's between opportunities right now. He can't help financially, but he's offered to be here to help with care." "Where is he?" "He had to step out. This is hard for him, seeing his father like this. Hard for him. It was always hard for Ethan. Too hard to finish school, too hard to hold a job, too hard to be in the room when his father needed him, but never too hard to cash their checks. "We're family, Sarah," Mom said, and her voice broke. We know we could have been better, but your father needs you. We need you." I looked at Dad. His good eye followed me, pleading. The same eyes that had looked past me my whole life, always searching for Ethan in any room I occupied. "I'll think about it," I said. I didn't go back the next day, or the next. Let Mom's calls go to voicemail. Each one more desperate, more urgent, more certain that I would come through because that's what I did. I was responsible, reliable, the disappointing child who could be counted on when the golden one couldn't. Jenna asked me what I was going to do. "I don't know," I said. We were at a wine bar and I was on my third glass. "They need help, real help, and I can afford it." "Can you afford it emotionally?" I didn't answer. "Your dad told you to lower your expectations when you got promoted to senior engineer. Your mom forgot your birthday 3 years in a row but threw Ethan a welcome home party when he got back from Bali. They spent their retirement fund on his self-discovery journey while you paid off student loans they refused to help with." "He's sick, Jenna." "I know, and that's terrible. But you don't owe them your financial security because biology says they're your parents. Being a parent is more than DNA. It's showing up. They never showed up for you." The wine turned bitter in my mouth. If you're enjoying this story, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. It really helps the channel grow. Mom called from a different number. I answered without thinking. "Sarah, please, we're running out of time. The hospital needs a decision about where he's going. We can't afford a facility long term. We need your help." "Where is Ethan?" "What does that have to do with anything?" "Where is he, Mom?" He got an opportunity in Colorado, a friend starting a business." "He left." "It's not like that. He has to think about his future." "I was thinking about my future at 15, filling out scholarship applications at the kitchen table while you and Dad were at Ethan's games. I was thinking about my future at 22, working 2 jobs to pay rent while you sent him money for surf lessons." "Sarah, I was thinking about my future every time you made it clear I was the consolation prize, the backup child, good enough to call when you needed something, but not good enough to celebrate, to be proud of, to love the same way you loved Ethan. That's not fair. We love you both." "Do you? Because love looks different than what you gave me. Love shows up. Love remembers. Love doesn't wait until it needs something to call." Silence. Then, "So you're saying no. You're going to let your father suffer because your feelings are hurt." The manipulation was expert, decades in the making. "I'm saying no because you taught me to. You taught me that family only matters when it's convenient, that love has conditions, that I'm only worth your attention when I'm useful." "You're being cruel." "I'm being what you made me. Practical, self-reliant, disappointing." I hung up. Was I wrong? Was she right? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're enjoying this story, check out my playlist linked in the description. 3 weeks later, I heard through Ethan, who'd called asking for a loan, that they found a solution. Medicaid. A facility. Not what they wanted, but what they could afford. Dad would be fine. Not comfortable, but fine. I should have felt relieved. Vindicated. Something. Instead, I felt hollow. I drove past the hospital one night, sat in the parking lot looking at the lit windows, wondered which room his was, wondered if he thought about me, if he regretted the recitals he missed, the achievements he minimized, the daughter he took for granted. Wondered if I was punishing him or protecting myself. Maybe both. Maybe that's what revenge is. Self-preservation that looks like cruelty to everyone else. I started the car and drove home to my empty house, bought with money I earned alone, and tried to convince myself I'd made the right choice. Some nights I believe it. Most nights I just feel like what they always said I was. Disappointing. But this time, I'm disappointing on my own terms. And maybe that's enough.